37, we will understand what David is saying, because it's evident for us in this time, in the present time. Death to the wicked is the king of terror. Death to the saint is the end of terror. What David is saying? Jesus will lead us in the path of righteousness. He will restore our soul. He leadeth me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. He go back and he say, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil. So he crack over in Psalms 37. And he said, death to the wicked is terror, but death to the righteous is the end of terror. He lead me beside the still waters. He restored my soul. And he go back and he emphasizes, though I walk to the valley of the shadow of death, me no fear no evil, because my terror is end. My suffering is end. Backbiting is end. Oh God, oh God, oh God. What? Somebody tell me the time. I'm rushing. We have 16 more minutes more. Okay. So David is saying, the wicked borrow and pay not again, but the righteous show mercy and give it. Verse 22. For such as the bless of him that inherit the earth, and they that curse of him shall be cut off. The wicked person borrowed without serious personal involvement in the transaction. Top. Indeed, such people may have no prospect of even being able to repay the debt. But beyond the immediate situation, the wicked live under God's curse. So if you borrow and you don't pay back, you're under God's curse. David said that. The Bible, it says that. When you borrow, have the intention to pay it back. You might not pay it now, but it's in your mind and God work at the heart. So God knows that the intention to pay it back, because you don't have it now, you must pay it back. If you don't pay it back, you're under God curse. Not me say it. 22. Verse 22. They are not able to repay the debt because wickedness of habit make them unwilling to repay, even when they are able. So it is saying, if you don't have it to pay it back, God understand. But if you have it and you don't want to pay it back, you're under God curse. Powerful. Powerful word, Elan. Powerful. We must pay when we borrow. We must. If it takes us long, anytime we find ourselves with the money, we pay our debt and come from under the curse of Almighty God. So it's very much imperative to know what we are dealing with in Psalms 23 and 37. The social condition of the Israelite was different from those in the past of the world. Although there was rich and poor among them, it would hardly be said that they were more or anywhere were poor. There was a biblical obligation as well disposed individual to lead those in need, and no interest could be asked on loan. In the years of Jubilee, all the debt were remitted and mortgaged land returned to their original owner or their families. They are always generous, they lend freely. In repetitious, and it's used here to emphasize this point. Such repetition is common in poetic literature And it is a case in many of the Psalms. Not only are the poor blessed, but generous people, but the children of the generous will also be blessed. So if you be a blessing to others, your children will be blessed. If you don't, you know what it is said, the emphasis I put on Psalms here this morning is that in the church, which I don't think is evident anymore much, people would seek out those who are in need. The Bible said they would seek for those who are locked financially, psychologically, emotionally, and they would come to help. Because in those days, everything, brother Rich, was common. In the church, everything become common amongst their brothers and sisters. So therefore, you don't know who is rich, deacon, for who is poor. Because when you have, you will share it with the poor. So it come across that everybody was fed. But today, the shepherd doesn't appreciate the way we deal with each other in Christendom. Because we're supposed to know how we respond to those around us. So it's very much important. And once you have something to add, just put your hand up. That Sunday school is a way we communicate and we interact with each other to come at points so we can get what God has in store for us. So, the 23rd Psalms open with proud, joyful statement. The Lord is my shepherd. So he's telling me, you don't have to want. Remember, God don't supply want. He supply need. So when you already have a shepherd, you don't have to want anything. People are so greedy that everything Sister Sharon they want. There is some who would have a term in Jamaica say they come like siren. One. Christian don't be like that. Because our shepherd don't allow us to want. He supply our need. And it's very much imperative we know the difference between want and need. You have 10 houses, but you still want another one. And what the reason why? And then you come and you talk, oh, I have 10 and I'm God gonna bless me with 11. And if you think about that brother or that sister who don't have no way to sleep, that's what God look at. He don't look at the abundance of what you have, because those are temporary. As I was saying to somebody the other day, everything that we have today, God bless us that we can have it to enjoy this planet. But most people use it as gods, because anything that we put before God, it's a god, it's an idol. The Lord is no more your shepherd. Anything we put before God, whether we son, we daughter, we wife, we house, we car, it's a god. Anything. And God is not pleased because he's a jealous God. And sometimes we wonder why some people go down the way they go down. And what happened to them. And people will say, oh, he was a good man, he was a good woman. But did he please his God? It's very much imperative. If the Lord is our shepherd, we have to put him at the highest place. We place him in the highest place in our lives. Him first. And yesterday all day I'm singing J-O-Y, joy. It always sung many times. My mom always sing it. Jesus first, others come between. So the J is Jesus, O is others, and the U is you. So Y-O-U, J-O-Y. Y mean you. Jesus first, others in the middle, and you last. So we must always remember Jesus first. And never you put yourself before others in God. Whatever we have, evangelists, you put it to Jesus, then to others, then you. And when you do that, it round off. And then that's what the Bible says, when you do things in secret, it's a Sharon. He reward you openly. And sometimes when some people have been blessed, And people might wonder, what? Why Deacon Ashley so blessed? He no complain. Because you don't do things and come up here and blow trumpet. You do it under secret. And the Bible says when God see that, because you only want God to see. Because once you do it for everybody to see, you're not giving to the Lord. You're boasting. And that's where your reward is. But when the shepherd is under your umbrella, when you're under the umbrella of the shepherd, and you do anything, and he sees it, he will reward you openly. Amen. So in the conclusion, I know we have to rush through the lesson, but if you go back and please emphasize, read Psalms 23, sing it, word by word, paint a picture, draw a map of it, and you'll see the sweetness of Psalm 23. It's not only quick recitation, as anything, some people, as they're going to a graveyard, that's it, they have to repeat the Psalm 23. If they go home at night and they reach their door, they start say Psalms 23. If they are going to the job, a new job, they repeat Psalms 23. Anything. But they not even know the significance of Psalms 23. But if you break it down, and you sit down and you chew on it, and you chew on it, and you chew on it, you will get the most sweetest, most lovable, Lord of mercy, I can't describe it, of Psalms 23. Wonder why David sung it so much. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restored my soul. He leadeth me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Can you look at it? In the path of righteousness, Deacon. Then, Deacon, why we get so bitter that we're ready to curse and swear and talk down to people and treat people? If God is leading in the path of righteousness, righteousness is a sweet elder, fragrant, that whenever you see Sister Sharon, you want to hug Sister Sharon. You want to say, Sister Sharon, I love you because you're in the path of righteousness.
We have to allow him to lead us. So when we are led, when we end up in some paths, when we end up behind some bad streets and bad avenues, because we did not allow him to lead us. Oh yeah. He lead us in the path of righteousness. So when we are being led in the paths of unrighteousness, it can't be God.
Can't be God. Yes.
Yes, and David said the Lord is my shepherd. We are to know if he's our shepherd.
Yes.
Because if he's our shepherd, we should know our shepherd's voice.
Yes.
He leads us in the path of righteousness. He's not going to tell us anything that is not good. So whenever anyone come and really try to get us off, we'll know the voice of a stranger. So we must know his voice different from the voice of a stranger. Somebody say, I am his sheep, and I know my shepherd voice.
So right, evangelist.
Amen.
So in my closing, I was saying that, and I love that point. I love that point very much. If somebody come and telling you something wrong, you're supposed to know that's not the voice of the shepherd.
Oh my God.
So if the devil is telling you to hate your brother, or your brother, or sus upon your brother, or criticize your brother, that's not the voice of the shepherd. The shy voice of the shepherd is love, joy, peace, long suffering, because he lead you in that path.
Amen.
And we're going to close. State in simple to check, direct, rather rough, wrong language. It would be put like this: nothing will ever make me leave this outfit. It's great. The shepherd's side, they are develop a great affection and devotion to his flock. Listen. He would never think of parting with such a sheep. Healthy, content, productive sheep are are his delight and profit so strong? No. Or the band between them that is very true forever. So the shepherd will bond with you forever. So therefore, we have to know who is our shepherd. We have to know who we followed, who lead us, who lead us. And until you know then therefore it's not who we are. The shepherd will lead us into truth and righteousness. Could you stand? Oh,
There's one thing about the sheep, the relationship of the sheep and the shepherd. If in the tense in the language English that was taken, the sheep taken from its original text. The sheep's one of the reasons why we don't say sheeps and we say sheep. Yeah, the shepherd consider every sheep as an individual package. Each one has its identity for the shepherd. So he didn't consider them as, yes, they are a multitude, but yet they are individual. Also, so therefore we don't say sheeps. It's a lot of one. It's a whole lot of individual. And the same way, that's why the church is one Christian at a time, one soul at a time. So therefore, the psalmist say, the Lord is my shepherd. Each one of the sheep contained a personal relationship. Each one say, he is my shepherd. So a million sheep say, he is my shepherd. So it's a personal relationship for a shepherd. That is why he will leave the 99 and go for that one, because he has that one relationship with that one sheep.
yes, sir. Thank you very much. So it's very much important. We know who our shepherd. We know who our shepherd is. Individually, collectively, he is our shepherd. And we will not be in need. I know. But I'm saying we will not. So David put it in one, what we call one bowl. And he said, I. It go back down to singular. I. You understand me? So we must know who is. As we close, you must know who your shepherd is. And if I'm not doing what he wants, I cannot say he is my shepherd. I cannot. Because you're supposed to know your shepherd voice. And that shepherd, which is Jesus, will not tell me to malice Deacon Roper. Okay? We're going to close. We're going to ask Elder Small to close us in prayer. Could you stand as we close Sunday school? And those of a Sunday school offering, Brother Richie, all of a Sunday school offering. This Elder Small, the mic.
Let's pray. Oh God, our help in ages past and hope for years to come. We thank you this morning. Another day of worship where we can meet, oh God, and assemble. As we come to the Sunday school this morning, Lord, and as your word said, Lord is my shepherd. We are your shepherd. And if we are your shepherd, we had to lead, oh God, in the straight and narrow way. Lord, breathe upon us this day as we take your word, for your word is life unto those that find it, and health to our flesh. Breathe upon us now as we go further into our service through Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen.